Hello to everyone, I hope this channel find you well. If you are new to this channel, please right now click the subscribe button.
Since I'm start recording, once more I'm say good morning to everyone. In this course, this is our fourth meeting, and in this course I'm going to work with a new topic, which is about dynamic map and layout working. Let's just look at to our course outline. So as you can follow today, as our first week of the April, we are going to work with a map layout and a dynamic map. Why we call it a dynamic map? A dynamic map, as coming from the name, it is not a static map. What's I mean by these sentences? Definitely you done lots of map, but most of them I'm pretty sure, I'm barely sure, that are a static map. When we work with a dynamic map, it means that all the components inside the map are working together. They are matched with each other. It means that if you, for instance, if you just turn your map, let's say few degrees, the north arrow also turn accordingly. Or if we, let's say, increase or decrease the scale of the map, the detail of the map also up to date accordingly. I will going to show you in a few seconds in more detail. As I said, today we are going to work with this Cypress DM, or digital elevation model. I just put this one. I think for most of you, digital elevation model is one of the, let's say, ground for most of the analyze or most of the site analyzing, especially if you are working in a case that locate inside the Cyprus. So we will I just provide this map for you in order to have some chance to work with digital elevation model, or maybe some of you call it as a topography. Okay, I'm just make a folder, let's call it as a Cyprus underline DM. I just put all the content, I'm just drag and drop it into this folder. Okay, here we are, and I'm just get rid of this too. So I have this Cypress DM right now here. For opening, since we explain it to you, you will prefer add data. You need to create a folder connection in order to connect to your main PC. Since I am put it in my desktop or in my canvases, so the Cypress DM, the folder that I'm just created few minutes ago, almost here. I need to choose the Cypress DM and hit OK in order to make my connection to the folder. We have a very long delay in my PC. I don't know what's the issue today. Okay, the Cypress DM is located under my folder connection. If I'm just hit OK, it will add to my arch map canvases, as you can see right now here. This is a Cypress digital elevation model, or maybe you call it as a topography. It is converted from a satellite image. The resolution is not much, but still it is fine to work. Today we will try to make a dynamic map with this one. If you remember, in a previous or in a first lecture that we start with ArchMap, I will tell you we have a two view. We have a data view and we have a layout view. When we want to work with our, let's say, object or component as a shape file, we will use a data view, the ones that here. But if we want to create some map, we need to start to work with a layout view. This is our layout view, as you can see here, and today I'm going to show you how you will be able to work with this layout view right here. As you can see, of course you cannot see right moment, we have a two frame. One of them is this one, which is coming from my layer. If I have a one layer, it means that I have a one frame or data frame or layer frame here. But this one is our paper, or let's say our sheet. As you can see, the cypress, the shape of the cypress, it's almost a landscape. So first things I need to do is to change my paper to the landscape. You need to just right click over the layout view canvases from here, click on the page setup and printing. I need to choose a relevant paper according to my project. Let's say I want to work as an A4 and landscape. Right now the unit of our project is inch. I will going to change it to the metric unit as well. So I'm just right now click A4 and landscape. I'm hit OK. This is going to my new paper. For I'm just going to the ArchMap option. If you remember, I told you there is a layout view. I'm going to change it to the centimeter and my smallest division, let's say 1/10. Again, hit OK. Now, as you can see, my new measurement is centimeter, like this. I am put some grid and ruler over my project, let's say 1 centimeter from each side, like yes, 1 centimeter from here also, and we have another 1 centimeter and 1 centimeter from the top. Yes, here we are. Now I need to just manage my data frame to this let's say grids. I'm just drag and drop and leave it accordingly. And also I need to give some scale to my project. I can use the fixed zoom for my data frame. This is my data frame, and this the second frame is my layout. I will just use a fixed zoom out, fixed zoom in to make, I think this one is very big, 1/1,000,000. It seems that very fine. I just get my pen, move it a bit, let's say here, and leave as it is. So to continue my map, I need some extra information to make my map meaningful. First of all the digital elevation line or DEM model line are red. We need to change the color. From previous session, you remember that we are going to use a symbology. With this symbology, I am just go to the symbology and start to quantitatively give some value to my project. I will have 5 classes, and this is our contour line. And just hit apply to see how it was look like. Actually, it is fine. Of course, we can change to the another gradient color. Maybe this one could be also fine, or I don't know, let's check this one. This is also another gradient one, but fundamentally we prefer for let's say high contour level, we prefer a light color such as a light blue color or white color even. That's why I'm choose this contour line, which make too much meaningful for us. I'm just again hit OK. This is my first classification, or this is our first step towards to our work. The second things, we need to add some information to our project. If you remember, I told you that we have some map document property. I can give some title. For instance, I would say that Cyprus digital elevate model, or inside the parenthesis DM. I can give author as myself, and hit OK. I need to add now these things to my project. There is an insert line here. If I'm just hit OK as a title, the title of the map will be transferred to our canvases. Yes, here we are. I'm just put it like here. I need to just go to the property of it, change my symbol. Maybe I will say that 24 and bold could be fine for me. Either 20. It is too much big. Or let's leave it as a 22. I'm just move it a bit inside. This is my title. I need some north arrow. always we prefer the simplest one. Of course, we have a bunch of the north arrow here, but as I said, we fundamentally prefer a very simplest one. And also I put it somewhere in this corner. Of course, with shift I will be able to make it a bit big, like this one. And also I need to add some legend to my project. So I can add a legend from here. So since I have only one shapefile here, these are the symbology of the same shapefile, I will have a one, let's say, item also here. You can also manage your item. If you have many items, you will be able to add them to the legend, or you can remove them from the legend accordingly. I'm just hit next. This is about the title, so you will be able to manage it from here, write it legend or according to your language, or if you want to give something else, from here you are able to change the color and font. You can make it too much handy for yourself, and justification. These are same thing in a Word. I don't want to stack on these things. You are able to give some border to your legend if you wish, a background to the legend, drop shadow, but always try to keep your map simple as possible. Don't make it too much fancy. And this is about the patch. I will going to explain a few minutes later what is this one, because if I will tell you right now, you will not get it easily. And these are about the distance or arrangement of the legend. For instance, the distance, as you can see, there is a figure also. Each one, if you just move through them, it will show you by some arrow. For instance, the distance between the item of the legend and the title. Our title right now is Legend 2. We have some legend item, the distance between each of these legend items. Sometimes we have 2 or 3 columns. Right now we have just 1 column, but if we have a bunch of information, which is not possible to keep them in 1 column because it's going to be too much long and oversized. We have some heading, as you can see. For instance, imagine we have a topography, we have a building, and we have a road. So we want to give to the audience a bit information about each class. For instance, these are the DM, these are my building. Under my building, I can have different uses, such as a mixed use, such as a retail, or etc., etc. And this is about the distance between a label and description. These are the distance between each patch. In our, let's say, work or in a geography, each of these call as a patch. We call it one patch. And these are the distance between patches and labels. For instance, in let's say land use, not land use actually, because in a geography we do not have that much land use. We have land cover. The cover of the land is important for us, not the use of the land, because it could be, as you know, that land cover related to the what's material cover the land. For instance, if we have a vegetation, if we have a built up, or if we have a forest, or if we have a desert. But when we come to the uses of the land related to the what kind of using we get in terms of the human from the land. For instance, it could be a built up, but as a land cover, but as a uses of the land, it could be a residential, it could be a retail, it could be a office, or it could be a, let's say, governmental building. So we didn't say that in a geography much about the land uses or usage of the land. Or it could be a green, but as a use of it, it is agricultural land. So they are planting something. But if green, it doesn't mean that it is always a forest or something else. So we need to define this. Anyway, I'm not going to that, let's say, landscape science or ecological science, but remember that we call them as a patch. So since we are at the end of the process, we are able to finalize and put our legend. This is our legend at the current moment. Of course, I can adjust my legend much because, as you told you, we don't need some of the information right now here. For instance, Cyprus DM, we also write it as our title, so we don't need it here. It is deriving from this information over to my shapefile. Or elevation, we don't need it because we know that this is a digital elevation. So I need to just go property. Inside the property, I will be able to go to my items. As you can see, these are our item, and I'm able to give some new style to my. It could be do it like this, like in this way, some angular, or it could be do it without any information, etc. and etc. But I am always prefer to keep it simple. I'm just go to the property. Inside the property, I will say that just show my label at all. I don't want to have a layer name. I don't want to have a heading because we just have a one simple legend at the moment. I'm just hit OK and again hit OK and apply. As you can see, I'm just keep it right now very simple. We would able, these are our different patch type. For instance, I would able to give it like this zigzag line in this way to make some sense. You see, like this one. Or we are able to, actually this is a follow water. You are able also to use S-curve. There are a bunch of model and things. You can easily do it with your, let's say, project. For instance, for urbanized area, instead of a very simple rectangle, you would be able to put something like this icon. But actually, we don't have right now a shapefile. We just have a polygon. So I'm just make it as this one. We are able to give the number of it. For instance, how many, actually it is meaningless for this second, but we will able to give a number of the contour line here. For instance, if I'm just hit OK, it will going to tell me how many contour from a 0 to 225 meter I will be have here. For instance, I have a 3,400 something, but this is a very meaningless if I do it here. But if you have a building, it could be a meaningful. For instance, you will put some, let's say, how many building you have. But here, how many contour line I have, it is very meaningless. I'm also able to change the, let's say, prefix or suffix of it. For instance, I can say no, like this. Now, as you can see, it's give a number, but it is very meaningless, as I told you. So I'm get rid of it. I just give you information. There is such an option inside of here. I'm just get rid of it. Maybe in order to save some space, I will be able to classify it under, let's say, 3 column. Let's see how it is. Or maybe 5 would be much better. Yes, it's nice. I'm just put it here. I just try to save some space. I'm just put it here. Also, I'm going to change the label of these things. As you can see, why we call it dynamic map, everything now it's hand-to-hand work with each other. If I change something here, I don't need to manually change the things. Even if I am just update my data, the legend, everything will be automatically update and keep update. I will just going to change my information label because I don't need that amount of 0. I would say maybe as a precision 10 would be enough for me in order again to save some space. I would change my label because this label coming from our data set. You can change it accordingly, or even you can able to write. For instance, you can put, let's say for this one, I would able to say low DM. It is in my hand. You see, I just write low DM here and it is automatically keep up to date. But since we need a number, I just put the number as it is. So this is our legend at the moment. Let's also get rid of the border. As I told you, you are able to put a border, shadow, background, and etc. If you see, I will going to add something. Let's apply it. But this make crowded our let's say layout. That's why I'm just get rid of these things. And again, none. Yes, this is too much better. You are able to change the size from here or anchor point to the different corner of the paper. And these are about the general things of our let's say legend. Hit OK and put it right here. What else we need? One of the important things for a big scale map, we need a scale bar. We are not using a scale text and we use a graphical scale instead of the text scale. As you are looking here, we have a bunch of scale type here. Again, we just choose one of them. Maybe this one, it's fine, the typical one. I'm just hit OK in order to get my scale bar. As you can see, we have it here. I would be put it somewhere here. And I will going to change the, let's say, the adjustment. If I'm go to the properties, since we are working with metric unit, first of all, I will change it to the kilometer. As you can see, again, the unit automatically managed, so we can able to add some, let's say, division. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 big division and 4 also small division. Firstly, we divide into the small part. Maybe we can, let's say we have also 2 big division. Yeah, like this. We have a 2 big division and 2 small division. I can change the number, format, frame, and size. Everything could be changed from here. Even the border color, as I told you, I don't want to give a border. Even you can change the text, the symbol. Instead of writing full kilometer, I can use acronyms and say kilometer like this. I just hit OK. I can drag and drop and change my size to get, for instance, this one. This size could be fine. It is easily readable. 25, 50, and 100 kilometer. Don't use some weird number like 95 kilometer because it is difficult to understand by our mind, because our mind try to simplify everything and then make it understandable. I just put it, this one also somewhere here. Yeah, here we go. We are able to add some let's say, of course we are able to add some picture. Since I don't have a picture right now, I don't want to add. We can have some other things such as outer. Yes, as you can see, outer coming from here automatically. I just leave it somewhere here, or I'm also able to rotate it. Maybe it could be fine. Instead of the in this angle, I just put it 90 degree, and I am going to put it maybe somewhere here. Then just move my legend a bit further. I can add let's say today date, let's say current date, and I'm just put, sorry, instead of date I just choose everything. I can add a current date here. What else we need? Definitely we need some projection and coordinate. I was tell you that I will going to inform you what is the projection and coordinate, but at the moment I will going to add some projection and coordinate in my border. I need to just go to the property of my data frame. As you can see, we are here in a grid part. For sure you are able to give some frame color to our frame, or also give some general information. You are able to add some illumination such as the altitude and azimuth for let's say shadow and etc. I'm just going to grid and add a new grid. Definitely you saw this grid number in a corner of the, or in border of your, let's say, map, in a, especially in a professional map. These are help you to understand the location, and if you want to later address to the place, you will just able to use a hand GPS and directly go to the location. We have a, let's say, a different type of the grid. such as a division one. For instance, you would say that ABC and 1, 2, 3, and also we have a local reference like this one, but we use based on the meridian reference. Okay, as you can see, this is the local one, ABC 1, 2, 3, but I will keep this one, this based on the meridian. We will able to change our style, but as you can see here, we have a label only, we have a tick mark, and also we will able to change our let's say parallel and meridian number according to the degree, minute, second, latitude and longitude. 1 degree it's going to be fine. Let's do it just now as a 10 degree in both direction. As you can see, it is decrease the number of the division. I'm just hit next. You are able to change the minor and major division, and also the number of the, let's say, ticks per major division and text style. Of course, we are able to manage this thing later and just try to explain. And these are about the placement of the border and neat line and gratitude property. I hope my computer could be fine. Yes, I'm just hit a finish to get my appearance. If I'm just apply over here, let's see what could be shape. Okay, it seems that my division is very big or either very small. I need to go to the property and change the division and also change my interval. Let's make it 5 to 5. As you can see, we have some number here. They are just coming very small. I need to adjust them accordingly. We have one division right now here in the, let's say, horizontal, but there is nothing in the vertical. So I need to change them accordingly. I'm go to the property again. And I will decrease it to the 1 to 1 degree in both direction. I will going to decrease it. So still we have 2 in a top and 1 in a left and right. So I'm going to again decrease it to the minute. Maybe I will going to say we will have a 30 minutes by 30 minutes. Yeah, right now it is fine, it is better. We have almost 5 division in bottom and top, and we have a 3 division in let's say in a y direction. Of course for increase in a y direction, I will able to say I have a 15-minute by 15-minute interval. You see, I will just increase my interval. So I need to change appearance to have a better output for myself. If you see, we have in 4 border right now. I will going to say that I want my label only in a left and bottom. Normally we just keep it in left and bottom. We don't need in 4, let's say, border. So I just get rid of top and right. Also, this is right now look like a teeth is coming out. I need to change the orientation of the left one to the vertical. I just hit OK with use of this one. Also the font, I will going to increase the font. Let's say I just say 7, or let's say 10. We will see it actually. And let's save this one. Yes, my label now become visible. As you will see it, we have only in a bottom and left direction. I will also change the interval to 20 here. About the, let's say, a line, right now is nothing show, but I will going to put this one as a tick. We will see some tick inside our map, so it is able, it's help us to put our ruler for a measurement. This is about this gridding part. So I'm just hit OK, and this is our map right now. Maybe you saw in some of the place they just give some detail over the map. So for this purpose I need to add one new data frame. As you can see right now, I have a new data frame here. I'm just able to add my information from this to, let's say, under this new data frame. For this purpose, I need to just again add my data or copy paste under this file. I'm just going to add the data from here, the same information under this new data frame. As you can see, the same things coming from this data frame. So I need to just change my symbology similar to the ones that I have it as a quantitative. I'm just at my elevation. Here we are. This is the same color. So I need to increase my scale to the point that I wish. Maybe I can put in a, let's say, Troodos mountain over here with a scale of 1/300,000, or even a biggest scale like this one, 1/100,000. The main one is 1/1,000,000, but this one is 1/100,000. I just keep this hand and move my data frame. I would able to make it a bit small. I will put it right here. Let's make it. Also, I can able to move this one a bit up. if you see, when I change the map, this data frame, these grid automatically change and up to date accordingly. I just put it here. I will going to take my again my pointer and just increase it a bit more. I just give some property. I want to have a background. We don't need to have a grid again. Of course, we are able to add. I need to give a background to my frame, because otherwise the things that underneath will be seen. For instance, if I'm just move this one here, you will able to see through it, and we don't like to have such a thing. So we just fill a background with a white color, like this one. So now we are not able to see through of it. I just put it here, but there is something missing again here. We want to give a reference to the location of this part. We want to see that where is this detail coming from. For this purpose, we need to define the extension of the map. For this purpose, you will choose the main map and go to the property and give extended indicator. We will say that this is an indicator or extension of this map. So it will tell us this detail coming from this location. Of course, I'm able to change border of it. Now it is too much thick. Maybe it should be say 1 with a red color. Let's see, yeah, 1 is fine. Maybe I would say that make 100% round the corner so it look like a circle, as you can see here. And I will say that use a simple extend, or let's say show a leader. It's going to give some leader to our let's say project, where is the location coming from, but still it is very thick. I would say that's 1 is fine. Let's also change the frame, keep it as a 0% round, like this way. Make it a bit small and keep it in a straight way. Also, the main frame should be red too, since I keep my arrow, my point red. It is better to keep also that one red too. I'm going to my frame and change the color to the red accordingly and hit OK. We will see now my border also red as well. So this is about the detail. I would able to move legend a bit upward. Of course, we are able to add many things to here, but when you add something, especially the things that have some dynamic value, for instance, a legend, north arrow, scale bar, please care which of your frame are active. For instance, right now this one active. You will able to see there is a small border over it, hidden border. If I put this one activate from here, as you can see, Now the border transferred to the other one, and as you can see now this one color become bold. So let's see what happened if this one active. If I'm at a scale bar, let's say this is my scale bar, this time my scale bar, let's also keep the unit same as that one, let's say kilometer. You see the scale, if it is even in the same size, but the division are very small because this one coming from this, let's say, frame. You see the size are not equal. And even if I am changed the, let's say, detail of this one now is 1 over 100,000. If I just change it to the 200,000, my scale bar change, my detail change, and also my detail things change. And if I just make it again, let's say 50,000, detail and everything again going to be up to date accordingly. Now let's get rid of it. I will keep it as 100. And one more thing that I was just forget to tell you, we use a scale bar, the graphical scale bar, instead of scale text like this one. Absolutely, you see it in a different map. For instance, I just put it here, 1 over 100. Let's say not here, here. This is our normal scale bar. You are able to use, you change the separator to the dash line like this, and you are able to change the font size. I will be able to say, let's say 15, and keep it bold like this. But we never prefer this one. Let's tell you why. Because if you use this one, you remember that my page size was A4, as you can see here. But if I am going to the, let's say, stationery and take a print out on A3, it means that my scale almost changed. It's become twice bigger than the reality. But this number not change. It is fixed and write 1 over 100,000, which is wrong. However, if I enlarge my paper, let's say from A4 to A3 or vice versa, this scale bar into the print accordingly enlarge with my whole entire map. Therefore, I am able again to use it as it is. For instance, if I am just put my finger, or if I am put my, let's say, ruler into this scale bar and go to measure, these are fixed and not change. However, I cannot use these things because this texting time, it's completely work with paper size. Or if you give this one, you need to say that my sheet size is A4 or whatsoever. That's why I not prefer to use these things. So I'm just get rid of it. So this is our, right now, our dynamic map as you will see here. So you need to make export. You want to send it to the customer. For this purpose, you need to use just export map. Yes, here we are. You need to choose, you are able to choose a different resolution, DPI, and format, either raster format or vector format. For instance, we have a EMF, EPS, Adobe Illustrator, PDF, SVGA. These are all of them vector based, except the bitmap, PNG, JPEG, TIFF, and GIF. These are also a raster based. It doesn't matter which one you prefer. I just say JPEG. This is my JPEG. You are able to change, you are able to give a background, progressive, and about the color mode, 8-bit grayscale or 24-bit true color. Let's just give some number or name. Let's say Cyprus DM. Hit save. And my map going to be saved in a very conventional format, which I am able to use it everywhere I wish. So this is saved. Also, you are able to save your entire work from here. This save, either save or save as, it just save your layout view. Don't forget, this is just for layout view. I'm just save it again as a Cyprus DEM. But if I am change my data, my information inside the, let's say, shape file, you will need to use another process. So this save just for a layout. Don't make a mistake. So this make a MXD file for me, which I'm able to open it again later and work in my, let's say, file. And these are the file that I am just make it few seconds ago, and you will see the quality. The quality is almost fine, and everything is located here accordingly. So this is about, and this is my division. As you can see, if you remember, I just give a 20 minute by 20 minute in my Y direction, and also 30 minute by 30 minute in the X direction. So this is about the map that we created today. And right now I'm just opening it in a, let's say, Paint. Any question related to the course? If there is no question, I will going to stop and hope you all the best. Thanks for joining to this session. If you have any problem, you know how to find me, how to write me. Then have a good weekend. See you all of you by coming session.
Thank you.
You're welcome, everyone. Bye bye. Bye bye.